Plaintiff Israel Crespo says the defendant was his best friend, and they bonded over the fact that they were both attracted to men. Israel rented an apartment with the defendant, and after she fell on hard financial times, she was so convinced that she was going to win the lottery that she wrote him a check for $65,000. He's suing her for unpaid rent. Defendant Skylar Ely says she and Israel were like Beyonce and Kelly, and she was often his wing woman when they went out to meet men. Skylar does not believe she owes Israel because she thought he was paying her rent as a gift.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, sad to say we're here today. Skylar, she was my best friend. We knew each other for about 3 years. She was my wingman. We used to do everything together. There was just so many times that we would just like bond, and she was just like, we would go to grocery stores and just like kind of, since we had the same interest in guys, we would like go and look for guys and go on dates. And there was a guy that one time had bought all her groceries. And so since she's hot and I'm hot, I was like, oh, well.
Buy me some groceries too.
Yeah, basically. So I was like, you might as well buy me some groceries. So we started doing that, and that was kind of like our ritual. We would just go out, have a good time. Like, we were always just like bonding together, always. And there was also another time she would always go to the gay clubs with me. Everybody thought she was so beautiful. They would come up and be like, oh my goodness, you're so beautiful. So we started doing this like prank, and was like, well, she's actually a tranny. And so, okay, you know, she's a tranny, and she would go along with it, and she'd be like, yeah, I went to Thailand to get surgery, and Colombia, and they'd be like, well, you did.
Now, why did they go to Thailand?
Because it's cheap, Your Honor. That's why they do it good for cheap. That's what all the transgenders say. That's where they go, so.
We had the same interest in guys. We would like go and look for guys and go on dates, and there was a guy that one time had bought all her groceries. And so since she's hot and I'm hot, I was like, oh, well.
Buy me some groceries too.
Yeah, basically.
Plaintiff Israel Crespo says his former roommate, the defendant, was so convinced that she was going to win the lottery that she wrote him a check for $65,000.
I wonder if I could say this. I went to Thailand over the holidays. I always take my family somewhere over the Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could say what goes on over there. You know what goes on over there, like this crazy stuff?
It is crazy over there, yeah.
Could I say that in here? You don't think?
I don't mind.
No, I'm talking about for them, the TV.
Oh, yeah.
You know what goes on. I'm trying to think if I can say that. You go on these different institutions, put it that way, or just a bar where you drink and then you have all these women doing crazy stuff.
Or men. There might be men.
Yeah, men that look like
A woman.
dressed up as women, but I saw some stuff that's unbelievable. I'm trying to figure how I can say this. Well, I think this will get me in a lot of trouble. I told you about it, the canary. All right, we're going to move right along. I can't tell. All right. God,
well, that wasn't
wasn't
the best part. To put the icing on the cake, there was actually the straight guy that, you know, came up to her that she was just kind of interested in, and she come to find out he was a tranny chaser, and he didn't like her as a girl. He liked her as a tranny. So that was a hotmess.com.
You got their own thing, man.
So, I mean, we used to always have a great time. I mean, I love her to death.
Let me hear some background from you, and then we'll get to the rent specifically.
Okay, well, first of all, Your Honor, Izzy was right. We were best friends, the best of friends. We were like Beyonce and Kelly, me being Queen Bee, of course. And he likes boys, so that made it easier for us to get along. We had stuff to talk about. So we would just always hang out. I would be his wing woman. He would be my wingman. We would get the boys to buy his groceries, like he said, because a girl got to eat, even though I'm really skinny. So it was just real good, but then every good thing must come to a pass. Beyonce went solo. Now Skylar had to go solo.
Skylar had to go solo because she won't pay her rent.
Hey.
So he says.
You said it, so it must be true.
Beyonce and Kelly paid their bills,
Wait a
so they didn't have
minute.
anything to do with that. Go ahead, let me hear from you on the rent.
Oh, well, I mean, Skylar, she was on her grind. She was a model, so she was always going to castings, always booking gigs. And then rent stopped getting paid. She started just like lounging around the house, just like not doing anything with her life. And then she was just depending on the lotto. She was like, I'm gonna win the lotto. So she was so convinced that she was gonna win the lotto the next week that she was just like, oh, I'll give you the rent in like another week or whatever. So I kept on waiting. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into 5.5 months later. She got so convinced and so confident that she was gonna win the lotto that she wrote me a check for $65,000, and I have it right here.
I never enough to compare yourself to Beyonce. She has $65,000 check she can write. But she works. She's the hardest working person, let alone woman, in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So she doesn't lay around like you. Stop calling yourself Beyonce. Go ahead.
So come to find out, she never won the lotto. I never got the money. And it just got so bad or whatever that, it just got to a point that I was like, I can't take this anymore. I have to rent out this other room. So, I had my gay mother come and talk to her.
Who isn't really a mother? It's a man acting like a woman. So father, gay father. Anyways.
My mentor. So she came and speak to Skylar, and she was like, you have 2 weeks to either give him the $4,500 that you owe him, or you have to move and he has to rent out these rooms because he has school and I work. So it's just...
All right, ma'am, what do you say about this rent?
I say that if he wanted the money back, he should have asked for it in the beginning.
He's asking for it now.
Now, right, but I'm saying before that, I would give him money when he needed it. It was like a type of friendship where we wouldn't ask for money. But I felt that it didn't start happening until his gay mother, per se, got into his ear and was like, oh, well, you need to have her do this and do that and pay this and pay that. Because before, when I had given him money, I never asked for it back. I just gave it to him.
Was there an agreement that you would pay rent?
Agreement? Yeah, it was agreement.
Okay, so did you keep that agreement?
Not for a couple.
Okay, so why shouldn't you pay for the agreement you made?
Because I figured it was a gift.
Okay, but so then why did you agree to pay?
No, the times that I was before that happened, I was paying it. And then once it didn't, I wasn't able to pay. He had like, what do you call it? Like when someone spares you for one or so type of thing.
Spares you, you
yeah.
say? Mm-hmm.
They give you a spare.
Temporarily.
Temporary. And then...
Well, if I was giving gifts like that to all my friends, then I would go broke.
Well, honey, you have, so maybe that is
Ma'am?
why. Oh, sorry.
That was a temporary
Yes.
relief for that debt.
Plaintiff Israel Crespo says his former roommate, the defendant, was so convinced that she was going to win the lottery that she wrote him a check for $65,000.
He didn't excuse you totally from the debt. Or did he? Did he tell you that? Did he say you don't have to pay?
He never said I had to pay.
Yes, he did. He's saying it today. And you said you owe. Now you changed the story and said he never told you you had to pay.
Right, I don't see...
You don't see a conflict in that answer?
He never asked like, oh, if I pay the rent this month for you, you got to pay it back to me. He never said that. Okay. So I assumed that I wouldn't have to pay him.
Oh, okay. All right. And we're not going to go over that old kid's phrase about assuming. Yes, kids say that, so I'm not going to say that. But you were wrong. He wants his money, and that's why you're here today. He did not forgive the debt. $4,538. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Well, since he still look good, he ain't changed. I haven't seen him in a bit. I guess the judgment said I did owe him and should pay him, so I'm not going to let money hold our friendship back because we had good times, and I do miss you, and I still love you.
Too.
So I want to be your friend again. I want to hang out.
I love you.